Hey y'all, and welcome to Monner's Market, and welcome to my Patriotic DIYs video. This video today is hosted by Teresa B DIY, and I'm so proud to be a part of this because all the proceeds are going to a company called the Fisher House. I will have lots of information about the Fisher House listed below in my direct description box, so be sure to go down there and check it out. Now let's get into the video. For DIY number one, I'm making this cute little wreath that I got the supplies from the Dollar Tree to make. And it could not be easier to make this. I got this little wreath form right here, and all of these flowers came from the Dollar Tree. And this is a scarf that I found at the Dollar Tree that I absolutely fell in love with. Now, I did not end up using that car or the greenery that you see right there. So basically what I did is I just took the scarf and wrapped it around the wreath, kind of like you would if you were wrapping it around your neck or your head or anything like that, and tied a cute little bow in the bottom. Once I got the scarf sort of arranged like I liked it, I went in with my flowers and just placed them around the wreath until I thought it looked cute. Now, I wish I would have gone to Hobby Lobby or somewhere and got a little bit more high-end flowers for this. But in the end, I was surprised because it didn't look as bad as I thought it would, and all of the flowers together ended up looking pretty cute. So I was proud of it in the end after all. So like I said, I just took these flowers and arranged them here, there, and everywhere. And they were real easy to stick down into that wreath form. I didn't have to use any hot glue or anything like that. So I just basically went through and layered until I got a look that I liked. This was probably one of the easiest wreaths I've ever made, honestly. Once I got the flowers in there like I liked it, it was done, and it could not have been any easier. And honestly, it couldn't have been any cuter than it was once it was all done and it came together. So let me know what you think about this little wreath down in my comments, and if you think it's something you would like to try to go get the items for to make yourself. Like I said, you don't have any hot glue. There's nothing else to do. I mean, it's super easy, and it was a lot of fun, and it turned out kind of cute. I really, really liked it, and I love the scarf idea. That, to me, set the whole entire wreath off, and it was just adorable. So definitely let me know what you think about that down in the comments below. Happens to be one of my favorite wreaths I've ever done. You know, the Fisher House is such an amazing company, and I really hope you go down to the description box link that I put below, or the link in the description box that I placed below, and find out more about them and what they stand for. Now let's get into DIY number two. For DIY number two, I'm making a beaded garland, and if you ever have been to my channel before, you know I love to make these beaded garlands all the time, and I couldn't pass up a chance to do a patriotic one. So I love to take these skewers and paint my little beads on them because I have so much control. I am using all Waverly paints here. I'm using this real pretty, it's called lacquer, and then the white, and then a color called Ocean. It's a blue color. It's really pretty. And I'm doing 5 of each 20 millimeter beads. And then once they dry, I'm going to make a tassel and put on the other end of it, but I'll show you that in just a second. So I'm just painting my beads, putting them aside, letting them dry. Now this yarn came from the Dollar Tree, and I thought it was super cute. I'm using red and blue, and I almost threw some white in there, but my little star that's going at the other end is going to be white, and I just figured it would balance it out a little bit better. So I'm just taking the two of them and wrapping it around my hand a few times and cutting it off. Then I'm going to take another little piece of both of those strings and run it through the top of that and tie it off. Once I get that tied off. Then I'm going to take another piece of string and I'm going to pull it down and wrap it around the top and make the little head. Well, actually, I cut it first. And then I'm going to wrap another little piece around the top. And that makes the little head of your tassel. You just wrap it around, tie it in a little knot, and when those other little strings hang, it just hangs right into your tassel, and you never even see them again. Then I just pull it all together and give it a little haircut and even it up, and that's it. Look how stinking cute that tassel turned out, and they are so easy to make. Now, I had this little blue and white striped twine in my basket, so I just grabbed it instead of any other kind of twine. And it turned out cute. You really don't see it, but it turned out cute anyway. You'll see me doing 2 of each color and kind of like, I don't know, some random thing. But I didn't like it like that. So I took it apart and just did the red, white, blue, and kind of strung it like that. And once I done that, I tied my tassel to one end. And then I had this cute little star that I got out of a wind chime set. And it's the cutest little wind chime set, but all I needed from it was the star. But now I will take that wind chime set and use it and use something else to go. You know when you have a wind chime and you have something hanging from the bottom for the weight to sort of, like, I don't know what it does, distribute the weight. I'm not sure what it is. But anyway, there's the little star I'm talking about. I'm just going to open it up and steal that little star out of there. And I'm going to paint it with my white Waverly chalk paint. Once I get that little star painted, I am going to tie it to the other end of my beaded garland, and my beaded garland will be finished. But look how cute that star is. It almost looks animated, and it's just adorable. My granddaughter told me it looked like Patrick from SpongeBob SquarePants. And I needed to paint it pink, so I didn't want to paint it pink because it wouldn't match my thing. But anyway, it was kind of cute, and it does kind of look like Patrick. But anyway, I just tied it to the end of my beaded garland, and that was finished. And look how cute that turned out. I am a sucker for these beaded garlands. You know I am if you've ever seen my video before. And this one is a shorter one, more, geared for a tier tray. So let me show you how to make an adorable patriotic tier tray. So for DIY number 3, this is so easy and so inexpensive, but I'm going to use something called Hippo Water Slide. And what I'm going to do first is take a candle and a plate from the Dollar Tree. Now those plates come, I want to say it's 4 to a pack. So I don't even have $2 in this whole stinking tier tray. I'm just going to take some E6000 and some hot glue, glue that plate on. I'm going to paint it with my white Waverly chalk paint. And somewhere I lost the footage of me sort of dry brushing around the scalloped edge with the ocean to give that a little bit of a blue color. So I'm sorry for that. But I did go around the whole thing and sort of dry brushed it with the blue. Now this water slide, you want to print your water slide, and you also want to seal it with some, like, I use clear coat is what I use, and I spray it 3 times. Once it is dry, and let it dry in between each coat. But once the 3rd coat is done and dry, then you're ready to use it. And all you do is what you just seen me do. Just stick it down in some water. You'll know it's ready when it starts to curl up. And what you want to do is you want to just place it close to where you're going to be putting it down at, and you just literally slide it off the paper. That's why it's called water slide, because the water, there's glue under the bottom of that, and the water activates that glue. And it just slides off, gets in place, and once it's there, it is not coming off. It's amazing. This Hippo water slide is the best water slide I've ever used. And that is how cute. I just tied a few little pieces of red, white, and blue string around the bottom, and look how stinking cute the whole thing turned out for less than $2. I thought it was adorable. And those little gnomes, to me, are the cutest. It says Home of the Brave. And I just thought it was too cute. I thought it would have been cuter if it would have said Gnome of the Brave, but it doesn't. It says Home of the Brave. But it was a free printable, so, you know, I can't complain. So anyway, that is how simple and easy it is to use a water slide. I will have a link below for Hippo, and go get you some and check it out. It's super fun to use. Now let's get into DIY number 4. Oh, I'm just showing you what the little beaded garland looks like on top of the tier tray. It's so stinking cute together. I love it. I think it's just too adorable. Now for DIY number 4, I'm going to make this patriotic sign, and this one also says Home of the Brave. And I have to tell you while I'm making this sign, this was a free printable that I printed from Google, and again, I just went in and typed in free patriotic printables. Now this sign right here, of course, comes from the Dollar Tree. It is double-sided, but I am going to take the plastic off and paint it white. And once I get it painted white, I'm going to trim out that picture that I painted, and that's why I'm not painting the whole thing really good, you know, like I'm not giving it 2 or 3 really heavy coats. So that's just me taking some Mod Podge and Mod Podging this picture down, and then I'm going to go over the top of it with some Mod Podge to seal it in, and it gives it like this little gloss coating, I guess you could call it. But once I did that, I took some leftover flowers that I had from my wreath, and I just sort of arranged them all around the top to give it a little bit of cuteness, and added some little baby's breath here and there. And I just, again, I started to say this and I got sidetracked. Anything that has to do with patriotism is right up my alley, because my grandson, my dad, my brothers, I have so many family members, my nieces, my nephews, and they all have been in the service and served our country. So we come from a huge patriotic family, and this picture to me just screamed patriotism. That was the simplest sign I have ever made in my life, and look how pretty it is, and I just love the way it turned out. I'm not too crazy about the flowers. I don't know that I would have used those if I did it again, but I liked it in the end. So let's get into DIY number 5. Now this is that little truck that I bought to use on my wreath and changed my mind. This was so simple. It's like a little cheat DIY, honestly. I just took an arrow from the Dollar Tree and I painted it with my white Waverly chalk paint. Let that dry, and then I took the little truck off of its hanger that it came on and just simply super glued it to this arrow, and that's all there was to that. And it was just a cute little something to hang on a door and show your patriotism. If you have just like a little actually a bigger wreath that you've made, it would really go cute on that wreath also. So this is me just painting the arrow. I don't know why I'm showing you me painting it for so stinking long. So I apologize. But anyway, now I'm just going to take super glue, glue around the truck, place it on the arrow, and that is all there was to making this cute little sign. So like I said, it's super easy, kind of like a little cheat. And as I've said in my last few videos, I'm trying to do a few DIYs that are real easy for those that are just starting out. So once I got that done, this was finished, and it is upside down. There we go. I don't know what in the world happened to that, but that's how simple that little sign was to make, and it turned out kind of cute. Now let's get into my final DIY number 6. This one to me is so stinking cute, and again, I'm going to use the Hippo water slide. This is it's actually a napkin holder that I found at the Goodwill for $1, and I think I paid 50 cents for it because I got it half price. And I just took some white Waverly chalk paint. Well, I cleaned it up really good first, and then I took some white Waverly chalk paint and I just gave it a really, really good sanding to sort of knock off all that it had some sort of a finish on top of it, and I didn't think the paint would stay very good. So I just gave it a light sanding and then wiped it down with a wet cloth. Then I went in with a paintbrush with some white Waverly chalk paint and gave it a really good coat of that white paint, which is a beautiful base for this water slide. Now this is me showing you how I seal my water slide, and like I said, in between each coat I make sure it's completely dry. Now I was rushing this one because I wanted to show you what I'm doing, but I literally spray it, let it dry, and then do that 3 times. And then once that's done, all you have to do is cut it out and stick it down in the water and apply it to whatever you're going to apply it to. Now, when I cut this, I was in a hurry and I cut, it was not a very good cut. It wasn't even at all, so I'm a little upset with myself. But it still turned out super cute and very easy to do, and it matches my little tier tray that I made. So now I'm going to show you putting it in the water, and it's going to automatically curl up. So you just want to kind of lay it flat and let it sit in there for a few, I'd say a minute or 2. But you'll know when it's ready whenever you slide. You take your thumbs and you sort of push up on it and it starts to slide. Now that's when you're going to know it's ready. Now what I just did, I should not have done. I should not have taken it off of the paper, because I mean, it's called a water slide for a reason. You want to slide it off of that backing onto what you're doing. So now I'm going in and I'm reapplying it to the backing, because I should have never taken it off, and see how much easier it is when you do it the right way. So then you want to take a rag and just sort of, don't rub real hard. Now it looks like I'm rubbing hard, but I'm not. I'm just barely patting. But once I got that done, I'm going to take the same ribbon that I've been using in the rest of the video, and I'm going to take red, white, and blue. I'm going to wrap it around my fingers, and I'm going to make a finger bow. And that's just where you wrap until you get it as thick as you want it. Then you cut another little piece of string and you tie it right smack in the middle and make a little knot. And then you have yourself a cute little bow. And it's referred to as a finger bow. And they make the cutest little bows whenever you do them like that. Once I did that, I just simply glued it right up under that little water slide and finished this. No, I did something else. I'm lying. Dollar Tree has the cutest stencils now. They have several different stencils, and I decided to take one of their stencils that has some stars on it and add some red stars along around the edges. So I just put it down, got my red paint, the same red paint I used earlier, and I'm going to stipple the stars. That's actually what it's called. So you want to take a paintbrush and you want to dab up and down, up and down. You can use one of the round daubers or whatever you want to use, but don't swipe or wipe on these, because if you do, you're going to have a mess. It's going to run all up under it and it's going to mess up your design. But if you stipple it, which means pouncing up and down, then it will be perfect. So I'm just going to reverse that on the other side, use the same red paint and stipple some more. That, I don't know why that word's so funny to me, but anyway, you just want to pounce up and down until you fill in all of the stars that you want to cover, and then we're done. Or do I don't know if I show it or not, but I take some Mod Podge and just seal the whole thing. I don't think I showed it because I already had the ribbon on there, and I had to tear the ribbon off, put the Mod Podge on, and then put the ribbon back on. So anyway, that is it, and look how stinking cute that turned out, other than my chop job on my Hippo water slide. Now, like I said, there will be a link below for Hippo. Be sure to go check it out and get you some and play around with it and see how you like it. So I just want to thank Teresa B DIY for hosting this amazing playlist, and I want to thank you, Teresa, for giving all of the proceeds to the Fisher House. It is such an amazing organization, and like I said earlier in my video, there will be a link to the Fisher House below, so hopefully you will like them like we do and donate. And there's also a link that will be listed below that you can donate under Teresa's link to the Fisher House. So I'm just showing you one last final reveal of everything that I did in my video today. I cannot wait to read down in the comments what you think about all of these patriotic red, white, and blue things. They are all super duper easy, beginner easy, and that's what I've been trying to do lately, is just kind of go back to the basics and do something super easy for there's so many beginners out there that are just starting out and want to craft but just really don't know where to start. So that's why I'm kind of keeping it simple. I am going to get into much heavier, more complicated things in the next few videos, but I did want to do several videos in a row of just really simple things. So let me know what you think about this video. If you've never been to my channel before and you're here from the playlist, my name is Brenda, but my grandbabies call me Monner. So that's where Monner's Market came from. So if you are new here, you like what you've seen, I would love it if you would subscribe, stick around, become part of my family. Either way, if you like what you saw, give it a big thumbs up and let me know which one is your favorite. So thank you for coming today and watching, excuse me, and watching my video. Be sure to go to the playlist and watch everyone else's video. And if your heart leads you to, why don't you give something to the Fisher House? Thank you for coming. Thank you for watching. Be blessed. Bye now.